When the world grows silent after war, and the cries of men fade into the wind, a strange calm settles upon the earth. Smoke curls toward a darkening sky. The blood of the fallen seeps into the frost, and somewhere, beyond the reach of breath, a warrior opens his eyes once more. He no longer feels the weight of his blade, nor the ache in his wounds. The world he knew, the roar, the fire, the fear, lies distant, blurred as if seen through a veil of mist. What remains is a question that has haunted the hearts of men since the first spear was thrown. What awaits beyond death? For the Norse, death was not an ending, it was a crossing. A journey as fierce and uncertain as life itself. They did not speak of paradise or punishment, they spoke of fate. The thread that begins at birth, spun by the Norns in shadows older than the gods themselves. They said 3 women wove all destiny. One for what has been, one for what is, and one for what will be. Each life was a thread on their loom, glimmering for a moment before vanishing into the weave of eternity. When a man fell in battle, his thread did not end. It was merely pulled tighter, drawn toward something beyond mortal sight. And when the last heartbeat fades, the soul begins to drift. The air grows still. The cold deepens. From the storm clouds above they come, the Valkyries, daughters of Odin, warriors of the divine. Cloaked in silver light, their armor gleams like moonfire on a winter sea. Their horses ride upon the wind, their eyes piercing the veil between worlds. They search among the dead, not for pity, but for worth. A Viking's life was a test of courage, not morality. The gods did not weigh sins, they measured spirit. Those who met death with fear were forgotten. But those who faced it with fire in their eyes, who stood their ground, axe in hand when all hope was lost, they were chosen. The Valkyrie leans close to the fallen, her voice a whisper that trembles the air. Rise, your fight is not over. And so the chosen soul awakens again, not in flesh but in essence. He feels the pull of the heavens, the sky tearing open above him. The light is not warm, nor cold. It is something beyond understanding, the brilliance of purpose itself. Through the storm he ascends, carried by wings unseen, through cloud and thunder, past the world of men. The lands below fade into memory, the villages, the mountains, the endless seas. And then at the edge of all things, a vast gate of fire and iron appears before him. The gates of Valhalla. Inside lies Odin's hall, the home of the slain. A fortress beyond imagination, its roof thatched with golden shields, its walls alive with the sound of song and steel. Here, every day is battle, and every night is feast. The wounds of the day heal with dawn, and the slain rise again to fight once more. They say Odin watches from his high seat, his one eye gleaming with knowledge of all that was and will be. The warriors who dwell here are not dead. They are preparing, training for the final war that will shatter the heavens, Ragnarök. But Valhalla is not the only path. Not all souls are taken by the Valkyries. Some are chosen by Freyja, the goddess of love and war, whose hall is called Folkvangr. Her realm is gentler, quieter. There the fields stretch endless beneath the golden sky. The brave rest without blood or thunder, a peace unknown to those who sought only glory. Others, neither chosen by Odin nor Freyja, drift to colder realms, to Helheim. Helheim is not a place of fire or torment. It is the shadow beneath the world, ruled by the goddess Hel, half beautiful and half decayed. Here come those who die not by sword but by sickness, age, or sorrow. Their afterlife is not punishment but silence, a realm of gray mists and forgotten names. Yet even Helheim has its dignity, for in the Norse mind, all endings serve the same purpose: to feed the great cycle. To live, to fight, to die, and to rise again. The Vikings believed that even the gods could perish, that the end would come not through sin but through destiny, the same destiny that guided mortal lives. And so every soul, whether bound for Valhalla's feasts or Hel's quiet halls, was part of a greater story, a story that began before the first dawn, and will end only when the stars themselves grow cold. The warrior now stands before Odin's gate. The wind howls, filled with the cries of those who came before him. He takes a breath, though he no longer needs to, and steps forward. The doors open. The light floods through, golden and fierce. The roar of 1,000 warriors rises, echoing through eternity. He is home, but beyond the celebration, beyond the mead and the laughter, there lingers a truth that even Odin cannot deny. The peace of Valhalla is but a pause before the storm. For the gods themselves are bound by fate, and even paradise will one day burn. The gates of Valhalla close behind him with a thunder that shakes the very air. And in that echo, he feels it, the weight of eternity. All around him, the hall glows like a living sun. Shields shimmer on the walls, their polished bronze catching firelight from 1,000 torches. The floor is strewn with wolf pelts, soaked in the scent of mead and victory. Everywhere he looks, warriors feast. Laughter mingles with the clang of cups, the song of skalds, and the sharpening of blades. Here there is no sorrow, no weakness, only glory. Each man and woman who walks these halls has faced death and met it without fear. Their scars are stories. Their eyes burn with the pride of the chosen. They eat the flesh of the boar Sarimnir, who dies and lives again each day. They drink from the udders of the goat Heidrun, whose milk becomes the sweetest mead. Time does not pass in Valhalla, it builds. Each dawn is a battle, each dusk a feast. But make no mistake, this is no paradise of rest, it is preparation. For every clash of axe and shield echoes with prophecy, the whisper of the end. The skalds call it Ragnarök, the doom of gods, when the sky will split. When Fenrir, the wolf, will break his chains. When the serpent Jörmungandr will rise from the sea, and the world will drown in fire. Every warrior here trains for that day. Because when that final battle comes, Odin will call upon his chosen, the Einherjar. They will march beside him across the plains of Vigrid, their weapons blazing with divine fury. But even here, even in this hall of the gods, the chosen whisper among themselves, is it truly glory they are promised, or only another death? Do the gods cherish them or use them as pawns in their own fate? No one dares ask Odin. But deep down, every soul wonders. At the far end of the hall, beneath a canopy of gold and smoke, sits Odin himself, the Allfather. His single eye gleams like a dying star. Ravens circle above him, Hugin and Munin, thought and memory, the mind and the past. He sees all, remembers all, and though his face is carved from power itself, there is weariness in his gaze. For Odin knows the truth. Even he cannot escape destiny. Every feast, every laugh, every drop of mead, it is all borrowed time. And when the wolf's jaws close, even Valhalla will burn. There are others who live beyond this hall, souls who walk different paths through the afterlife. In Folkvangr, Freyja's fields, the dead wander in soft light, their weapons laid aside. She chooses half the slain, not for war, but for balance. Her meadows are silent except for the wind. The warriors there do not fight. They watch the sky and wait for peace or for the call that may never come. And far below, in the cold mists of Helheim, the forgotten walk beneath a frozen sun. There, rivers of ice cut through endless twilight. The goddess Hel rules over them, one side of her face radiant, the other rotted bone. Her voice is neither cruel nor kind. It is final. In her halls, the old, the weak, the unlucky drift like smoke. They remember life, but cannot touch it. Their dreams are dim echoes of warmth. They too are part of the balance, for not every story ends in fire and song. The Viking world was never divided between good and evil. It was divided between courage and surrender. And to die well, that was everything. Meanwhile, above Valhalla's roaring feasts, the sky darkens. Odin walks alone beneath the world tree Yggdrasil. Its roots pierce the 9 realms, through fire, ice, shadow, and light. He lays his hand upon the bark and feels the pulse of the cosmos. slow, ancient, inevitable. He has seen what comes. He has hung from this very tree for 9 days, pierced by his own spear to seek wisdom. He has traded his eye for knowledge of fate, and what he saw broke him. There is no changing it. The end must come. Yet still, he prepares. Still he gathers his warriors, forging them in endless battle, hoping perhaps, when the time comes, courage will rewrite the story. The warrior who entered Valhalla feels none of this yet. He fights. He feasts. He falls and rises again, his laughter echoing across eternity. But sometimes when the fire burns low and the music fades, he dreams. He dreams of the earth he left behind, of snow-capped fjords, of the scent of pine and sea, of the faces he loved, and the ones he lost. And in those dreams he feels something stir, a question that will not rest. Was it worth it? The glory, the killing, the endless hunger for honor. Did it truly lead to peace? Or has he traded one war for another? But then the horn sounds, the dawn battle calls, and the question is forgotten once more. In the realm below, Hel sits upon her throne of bone. Her gaze pierces the worlds, seeing what even Odin cannot. She knows that when Ragnarök comes, the dead will march, not just the brave, but all. Her halls will empty. The forgotten will rise beside the glorious. For in the end, fate devours all equally. When the sun is swallowed and the seas rise, Odin's chosen will stand beside him, but even they will fall. The wolf will break free. The serpent will coil around the world. Thor will slay the serpent, only to stagger 9 steps before death claims him too. Odin will face Fenrir and the world will shatter under their clash. Fire will consume Asgard. The sky will bleed. And Valhalla, the shining fortress of the slain, will crumble into ash. But from that ash, something new will rise. They say 2 humans will survive, hidden in the branches of the world tree. When the fire fades, they will emerge into a new dawn, and life will begin again. Even the gods, it is said, will return, reborn, their memories like dreams. Balder, the bright god, will lead them. And though Valhalla will be gone, its warriors will live on in the stories of men, as whispers in wind and flame. For that is the true immortality the Norse believed in. Not endless comfort, but endless memory. To be remembered, to have one's name carried across time, that was heaven. And to be forgotten, that was the only hell. And so the warrior stands once more upon the plains of eternity. He has fought 1,000 battles, sung 1,000 songs. He has died and risen, bled and laughed, and found glory in the echo of forever. He looks to the horizon and sees the storm coming. He knows the end draws near, but instead of fear, he feels pride. Because the Norse knew something the world has long forgotten, that life and death are not enemies. They are partners in an endless dance. The warrior tightens his grip on his axe. The horns of Valhalla sound one final time, and as the light of the burning sky touches his face, he smiles. He was born for this. He will fall, as all must. And yet, his story will never die, because the Vikings did not seek to escape death. They sought to deserve it, and in that perhaps they found eternity.